That is. The resolution is too low. Guys. Is that the highest resolution it's going to get at? What? It's really blurry. I can. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Hello, everyone. We're about to start Dota 2 Finals. About time. And now for the honorary coin flip. Road to 3K, your call. Tails? It is tails. Which side are you going to be first? Yeah. Yeah, if you want. Road to 3K, are you taking Dyer? Okay. Yeah, they're picking Dyer. Yeah, your first pick. The two remaining teams on STD, can you move over to Radiant?
Move to Radiant. One more.
And here we go. Team Standard versus Team Road to 3K, Dota 2 Finals.
Game one.
Wait, why can't we start?
Who has the start button?
Wait, this is Ash. is actually a legit question. Who has the start?
We're in. All right, we're going.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to jump into the draft now.
So both of these teams have been very dominant throughout this whole tournament. One going 4-1, the other going a perfect 5-0. This is both two teams that know their Dota. At this point, it's a very interesting pickup. What do you feel going through? Like both of these teams I've been seeing doing their homework, researching up their matches. Where do you go? Do you go back? Do you look at other teams' matches, counter picking?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same kind of bans and picks that we've seen coming out this patch. You know, you're going to ban out the Ember Spirit, the Lycan, and pretty much standard, but we'll have to wait to see what they choose.
Gradient team ban.
Now, for anyone who might not be familiar with Dota 2 watching this, we're going here into the draft where the two team captains are going to pick what 5 heroes they want their team to play and what 5 heroes that they want nobody to be
Dire
able to play.
team
It's
ban.
their opportunity really to try to get in the head of the other team and stop them from doing something that could be potentially harmful.
And we're starting off with an Invoker ban, very typical in this patch, and the Ember Spirit ban. Both two very feared heroes in this patch that both have so much abilities that it really shut them down. And then we're going to come through with the Bristleback and Centaur Warrior bans.
Radiance pick.
Invoker and Ember Spirit both are really strong mids, so not too surprised to see them banned out. Centaur has actually gained a lot of popularity lately after a couple of pro tournaments. He's very strong, can get pretty tanky late game, hard to take down. Same with Bristleback, you know, a lot of damage reduction, his main ability, so hard to take down, hard to deal with if you let him get too far.
Bristleback, yeah, same thing. Just he has so much early game harassment. They're clearly planning on they want to be dominant in the early game. We'll have to see with the first picks where they're going to go with this. And we see the Dazzle. Not the best of early game picks, but definitely comes in a very strong mid game. And the Ancient Apparition, both good heroes coming into the mid to late game.
Ancient Apparition's a good one to pick up against Dazzle. His ult has the secondary ability that it's going to cancel any healing that you try to apply to your team. So it can really be a game changer. And also the fact that ult is global. It can attack anywhere on the map. I think it has about a 45-second cooldown. So anywhere on the map, that Ancient Apparition is going to have a presence if you're trying to push. A couple seconds here. Come out with the Mirana. Another popular pick.
Radiance pick.
She is often played as...
Secure yourself over there because we can't hear anything. Commentating.
You can't hear anything through the mic?
Yeah, from out there. Like, what you're commentating, people can't hear it.
Gradient team ban.
So it sounds like we're having some technical difficulties, but I will continue here with the draft.
Okay.
Standards Gaming pick up another support, the Vengeful Spirit. Good early game stun. Late game she scales well into a lot of damage, and the swap can be invaluable in catching someone out of position.
Radiance ban.
On the other hand, go back to talk to R3K's Mirana. You know, that arrow stun, if you can be on point with that, it's a great way to start a team fight or to finish it. Again, now we're seeing the Lycan ban and the Bane. The Lycan's pretty standard. He's really strong pushing, built into Necro books, which is a very popular item these days. Again, with the pushing strategy, get into the enemy space really fast. The Bane ban I see a lot because of Mirana. Bane's ability, Nightmare, that can keep people in one position. It's a really great way to set up that arrow. Mirana's 5-second stun can hold someone there and not let them go.
I actually have to wonder about the Lycan ban coming out this late. They didn't ban it at first, so if they were going to go with Lycan, I would have probably most likely seen it in the very first picks before it becomes sort of counter-picked or set up around. And we're going to see a ban from the Clockwork. You can already sort of see they're going against very early game, and they want to shut down powerful offlaners, these powerful combos with the Bane ulti hold and the Cogs.
And not only that, the Clockwork would add that global strategy. He has the Rocket and the Hookshot, which is really long range in combination with the Ice Blast coming out from Ancient Apparition. Standards Gaming is having some really strong counter bans here. I do agree with what you said about Lycan. I mean, if he made it through the first round of bans, it's kind of unlikely that he's going to be picked up, but now we won't see him at all anyway.
So coming through here, we're clearly seeing maybe this is going to be a Dazzle Vengeful tri-lane. Looking at Ancient Apparition and Marana, we already clearly know Ancient Apparition's slows are very powerful. You're going to need to carry probably with a Blink to get anywhere close to doing much damage. And we're going to see actually a pickup on Road of Sand King, on Road to 3K. So this is clearly looking to be very likely, I think, an Ancient Apparition and Sand King tri-lane. You could see the Marana going off lane. Very infrequently we've seen mid. She's sort of fallen out of the meta for mid-game character.
I like the Luna band that we kind of skipped over. Her aura, I forget exactly what it's called, but it stacks very well with Vengeful Spirit's aura. And those heroes can hit really hard early game, really hard late game, and really zone you out.
5 seconds.
Also, the Sand King, I bet R3K was just looking for another stun to hold people there into combo with the Ancient Apparition Cold Feet and the Marana Arrow. Really some strong crowd control, but they're going to have to get a good carry out here to kind of go with that.
We're currently waiting on Standards Gaming's third pick here.
They're dipping into their reserve time, so should be coming out sometime within the next minute. Hopefully, we don't want to see them random anything. What do you think they're going to go for?
Oh well, there's the off lane. I was going to say the off lane would be a very clear pick right now for them. So right now we sort of almost confirmed they're going to go with tri-lane, Vengeful Spirit, Dazzle. Timbersaw is clearly going to be a clear, obvious off-lane pick. Coming down right now, this is probably going to be saving for their carry pick. I've seen a lot of games with them. They commonly pick their mid as the last one, very typical in Captain's Mode in the meta.
We've got some pigs coming out already, not sure from where.
10 seconds
Timbersaw is
to go.
a really strong pick after the Centaur War Runner and the Bristleback have been banned out. It's really hard to take down. Very tanky, but also very mobile, which is something you don't get quite that much.
However, here's the issue: is it's going to be a very interesting pick on which you're going to go first. Are you going to go reactive armor first to stop the early harassment? Because with Marana's level 1 stun, Sand King level 1 stun, it could be a very hard lane he's going to be up against. Or is he going to go for the mobility, or even the Chain Blaze for just the easy last hits, and then hopefully build up items fast enough from there to stand these harassments?
What I'd like to see from this Timbersaw is, he kind of holds off to level until he gets in lane and see what he's up against. If he goes up and he has a pretty easy lane, I mean, he could take that Timber Chain or the Saw just so he gets some last hits. Otherwise, he's going to want to get the reactive armor to go up against the tri lane. Vengeful Spirit hits hard, especially if she gets a ranged carry in her lane. Waiting on a pick here from Road to 3K, so we'll see how their draft goes. Expecting a mid or a carry. Could be anything. They could surprise us, but expecting a mid or a carry.
Yeah, both of these teams have been playing very classic Dota, very oriented, very tri-lane heavy, off-lane mid, off-lane carry mid. It's going to be interesting to see where do they go here. Now with the Marana, you're going to want very heavy roaming, and now we hear Shadow Fiend. There you go. It's a very good roaming hero. Once Marana gets her ulti up, this is going to be a big fear. Him coming around, ulting on a team, already wiping off a good amount of health, and then just doing cleanup.
And that'll tell us right there. Their mid's going to be Shadow Fiend, and Marana will likely be an off lane. I have seen her roaming, but I highly doubt that at this point, based on the supports they have and the strong mid and Shadow Fiend. It'll be interesting to see how Standards Gaming responds to that. Shadow Fiend is one of the strongest mids. You let him get some last hits, he gains damage based on those souls.
5 seconds.
Really hard to deal with, especially if you have someone pretty squishy in mid.
And they're going to dig into the reserve time. They only have a minute left for these next two picks. Clearly thinking hard. At this point, I would say reserve your mid pick. Don't show it off too yet. Let it go. Wait for them to pick their carry and then go from there. It's going to be an interesting route to go. Now, here's the thing is what carry would go very well with Vengeful Spirit and Dazzle? You're going to carry clearly who can get his last hits. Doesn't need to buy. And we're going to Slar, very good pickup. Going to be able to get his last hits. Early Bastion gives him bonus damage. Vengeful Spirit's aura, and then Dazzle's supposed to be there to give him the bonus health he needs to stand to creep waves.
So this is interesting, actually. So Slardar is not one of the traditional hard carries. We could actually see this run as kind of a tri-core lineup. So splitting the farm, instead of giving it to one person, splitting it between three, more or less, the Timbersaw, Slardar, whoever this fifth pickup is, and then trying to really take the mid game, that 25 to 35 minute time frame.
That is a very good assumption, because Vengeful Spirit and Dazzle, both with some levels from farm, are very deadly opponents. And we see a Viper ban from Road to 3K. Clearly they know the mid is coming. Viper would have actually been a very good pick. Shadow Fiend with not as much HP cannot deal with Viper. If Viper gets some good health gain on him, he's not going to be able to deal with that course of armor. Same with Ancient Apparition and
10
Sand King. He's just going to be
seconds
sitting
to
there,
go.
and they really can't do too much once he gets his Reaver or some
5
other very good health
seconds.
item up.
The good thing also about Slardar and Dazzle here for Standards Gaming is the minus armor.
Reserve
The
time.
weave coming out from the Dazzle and Amplify from Slardar, you get those two on one of R3K's heroes, and they're going to go down pretty quick. I mean, you can stay ranged and you can keep away from them, but when you get hit, it's going to hurt a lot.
Especially with Shadow Fiend and Run, the only thing keeping those two heroes alive is the armor. Both of them have very notable strength gain or base HP. They're really essentially relying on their range, and they have armor, and they're going to be taking those hits. Dazzle gets his ulti up. Slardar lands his ulti. It's going to be a very quick knockout for both of them.
And there comes the Naga ban. I really like this. Naga has been seen kind of a resurgence. When she was first brought into the game, they played her as a carry, and then after a while, people started changing to support because the song and the ensnare have really good utility for the team. But recently, she's been coming back as another carry, so I could definitely have seen that coming out from R3K.
And that would actually been a very hard offlane carry for their tri-lane to deal with the nets, the ensnare. It's just going to be a very big pain for Dazzle, Vengeful, and Slardar. It would actually probably have taken down their tri-core system, and we're going to see the Templar Assassin.
Ooh, it's going to be interesting to see how they lane now, because you think of Templar Assassin usually as a mid, secondary as an offlaner, and one of these heroes is going to have to farm or roam, and so it'll be interesting to see what R3K picks. At least as far as how they're going to lane this. Got our last pick coming out from Standards Gaming. We've got about 15 seconds left here and there, the regular time, and 20 seconds left in reserve time. And then we're going to get into the game.
10
Yeah, ultimately, I was going to think
go.
the Templar Assassin's probably going to be mid. She can take the she can get the farm.
seconds.
No, the Shadow Fiend is going to be the mid. Templar is going to be in the lane. Templar Assassin can take the
Reserve time.
harassment. Shadow Fiend, they jump on him. Ancient Apparition might be able to do some slowing down. Same with the
10
Sand King. I'm guessing it's going to be the
seconds
other
to
laner. Not going to be enough anywhere near. And we're going to see a Dro pick. Very not common in this level of gameplay, but we're going to see how this goes. Clearly, the mid pick they were not expecting.
That Drow could be very good. After they changed her silence to push people away as well, that gust new ability instead of silence. A lot of teams don't know how it affects them because you don't see it as often. I like that against Templar Assassin. She won't be able to get the refraction or the meld up, and I'm not certain if it actually disrupts the meld if she's already there, but certainly it's going to do a number on any of those spell-dependent heroes.
And also very good in blocking off Sand King's jumping ability on her. Same with Mirana. Just so much. If you have a good reaction speed on Dro, you're going to be able to take off so much of their pushing
get
and
ready
jumping
if
on
I
you.
were you.
Blink Dagger users such as Shadow Fiend.
So jumping into the game here, I'll go ahead and introduce Dire. With Road to 3K, we have Loliet on the Ancient Apparition, Death Hates Wisp on Mirana, G playing Shadow Fiend, and Brodok for the Templar Assassin, and Wisp, Keeper of the Ursa on Sand King. Actually, not the Wisp. We're not going to see Wisp in this game. And they are smoked up on top, heading around. Want to go ahead and get Radiant?
Yeah, and bottom we have Slardar going bottom, definitely with the Dazzle and Vengeful pick. Very easy pick right there. Then we see Dro going mid, and we see Timbersaw going top. And up top we see them blocking off this creep camps all smoked up.
Smoke will be revealed here, so they know
30
someone's around.
seconds
And they've
to
got
battle.
they don't have a ward there, so this is dangerous for Timbersaw. This might be our first blood right here.
And right now they're going for it.
Chilling Touch does that extra magical damage. Do they have any lockdown though? Did they take any stuns? Otherwise, Arrow.
Ooh, the
just
close
south.
miss on the arrow, but Templar Assassin's going to come right back around, be able to get some easy damage right here.
They're blocking their Sand King. They can't get a stun off, so they're not going to be able to hold him in. He did a
And
good job.
he's
taking
actually
that
going to be able to
first.
get away. That really is going to hurt on the early game.
That level 1 Timber Chain, really strong.
And right there we saw he actually went for mobility. I think that probably was the ultimate saving factor. He went for Quelling Death or Reactive Armor. Easily a dead Timbersaw. Very good pick. And that's actually going to hurt them a lot depending on how fast they get down. Slardar is going to get the Haste Rune bot. And it's going to be a big rush for Mirana to get down here. And it seems Mirana is going to be the solo offlaner. We have Templar Assassin being mid, and up top we
Shadow
have...
Fiend farming. That is actually quite unusual. He's really considered one of the best mids, and to have him offlane farming, it might throw off Standard a little bit. We'll see how they handle it, though.
However, it is a good pick. They do have the Timbersaw. He's not going to be able to do much with the 0 armor. He's not going to be able to jump in, especially with an Ancient Apparition and a Sand King just looming around. And that is really as good a pick. This Dro Templar Assassin, not very commonly seen. I do have to sort of favor the Dro though. Once she gets her guts up, it's a very hard game for Templar Assassin. She's going to have a big trouble blinking in because Templar Drows will just be able to silence her and gust her back.
You know, what I really like to do, even on Heroes when it's not the best, is if you're up against a TA, just pick up an Orb of Venom. It's only 375 gold, and it can really do a number on that refraction. But down bottom, you know, we have Slardar farming up, and these two range supports are keeping Death Hates Wisps on. Oh, they switched. Death Hates Wisp is actually playing Mirana now, and they're zoning him out pretty well. He's not getting a whole lot.
Yeah, we already see Slardar coming on top of the net worth. It is only a minute and a half in, but you can see that was a big waste for them coming for Timber top.
There's a touch going on Mirana, Arcane Bolt. They can't follow it up. It's under the tower.
Yeah, but Mirana offlane, this is not the best pick. She has 4 armor, 500 health. Just Dazzle with his new stun, level 1, and Vengeful Spirit stun. It's just going to be a very hard game. And mid, we just see Dro already ranging out Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin sitting at a measly 250 health. Ranging her out.
She has the bottle coming to her, though, so she'll be able to bottle up and stay in lane.
Yeah, but still, Dro is already 100 gold ahead. That is going to be a sizable lead coming top. But we see up the river, Ancient Apparition and Sand King is coming down. This is actually going to be their big play. They've already wasted 1 smoke cake. They can't keep wasting these useless roams.
But Radiant saw it. They've got a ward at the rune spot, so you know you see Drow playing on the other side here. They have to walk across the tower to get her. That's not going to be an easy gank, if at all.
And talk about this pick up top. He is clearly getting some good farm. He's definitely not. He's in the top 3, but he's not going to be going toe to toe with Dro mid. But that is still good enough for a laning Shadow Fiend. That's very unheard of. Timbersaw is not going to be able to keep up with him very much.
But you know, they left him alone, so the supports for R3K are in mid right now. Shadow Fiend is getting solo farm. I mean, sure, he doesn't have the rune control like he would have mid, but he's going strong. He's getting his last hits. You know, he's leading the level board just like the 2 mids are.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think, the supports roaming. That's actually a very good pick. Slardar has shown his early dominance against the Mirana. Toe-to-toe with XP. Getting the solo lane is actually very good. Here's the thing is, Mirana can't have the confidence to then jump in. She has to still worry about these supports can be anywhere. Look at the war situation. She has no idea where they're going to be. And she's just always have to stay back, stay off guard, and just let this Slardar get farm.
You know, they're doing a pretty good job bottom of maintaining the lane equilibrium, but it would be nice to see them pull or stack and pull that camp so they can pull it back a little bit. And
then we see, and now we're seeing bottom lane turn into a tri-lane with Sand King and Ancient Apparition coming down to help. And this is actually very interesting. Do they have this much confidence in their Shadow King to be able to take this assault? I think once Timbersaw hits level 6, that's going to be a very hard lane for Shadow Fiend. Because Shadow Fiend's not going to have the level advantage. He's going to have to sit there. He's going to have to take much harassment to Chakram, and it's not going to go well with his measly HP.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he does have the damage, but again, if Timbersaw takes a couple points in this reactive armor, I mean, he already has 1, he'd get more. He'll just regen those hits if he goes back a little bit. It's an interesting line. It's an interesting matchup.
And now we're going down towards mid, and we see Dro is still keeping us tiny lead in front of the Templar Assassin, sitting on 500 gold, has her boots. That's probably actually a very good item for her at this point, keeping the mobility up, allowing her to get these ice arrows, and just just lay on the damage. And I don't think we talked about in the draft is her range aura is actually very powerful. Going with Vengeful Spirit and her aura stack, also going to Dazzle, just leading to those 2 supports having much more harassment early game. Once she gets level 6, it's going to be a world of hurt for those. Let's try line down bot.
You have some pings coming out bottom, so they scouted out the Dazzle who's around the side, and they're trying to go.
They're coming down, and I do not know how it's going to go. You see, they already know Venture's around the
Poison
corner.
touch on the Ancient Apparition. Venture Spirit's going to throw out the stun. They're going to hit. I mean, that'll be first blood. Nice job there on the first blood.
And there goes the Shallow Grave.
Can they get 2 here on the Sand King? One more hit. They don't have the range.
And Miranda makes the lead, and she gets him, but I do not think it's worth it. She might go down here. She's getting her harassment. Oh, there's no mana or
Sand
too
King,
much cooldown.
Nice body block up from Wisp, Keeper of the Ursa on Sand King.
And up top, we see Shadow Fiend is actually doing some really good job leading out Timbersaw. Timbersaw is still not level 6. He is level 6. He has actually a recipe for Hand of Mithos already. And he's 4 gold away from completing it. That is going to be massive for him.
That'll be oh, there it is. He just bought out the last component there. That'll really help him not only for the gold, but because of the extra attack speed. Most people don't realize that it gives you the 30 attack speed, and if you're doing that much damage like Shadow Fiend, That's kind of crucial in some of these fights.
And right now, he's already topped the leaderboard, and he's going fast. He's already at 2,700, and that is a sizable lead, especially over their mids. I don't know what do you do at this point. I mean, really, Timbersaw's saving grace is going to be once he gets level 6. He then has that range. It's going to be a very powerful range. He allows really good harass, and just essentially at that point, allow him to control the lane much better.
And so down bottom, we have a smoke on the Sand King. He's waiting at the invis room. He's going to get, the smoke's going to get popped by these two. TA's going to come in, but with Dazzle there in the grave, I'm not certain that they'll be able to get either of these.
But now there's 3 of them coming in. Templar Assassin's landing the hits. Oh, this is going to be crucial. Missile Sphere has a shallow grave. Oh, the arrow misses just barely. And now it's just a life for Dazzle. Dazzle has no mana.
They're going to get him.
This is going to be a really easy kill.
There you go.
There it is.
That's double kill there coming out for the TA.
And right now, we have to see whether or not Dro's going to pick up. She now has level 7. She should be healing at this point. She now has power treads.
And TA is going to get the invis rune, so that's 0 sum right there.
Yeah, this is just not going the best way. There's no farm picked up for her. Now, yeah, Templar Assassin even number 2. Drow is just falling behind now at that point. That is the worst thing she could possibly be in. And going back up top, Timbersaw just hitting level 6. This is where we should start seeing it coming around. But I don't know whether or not it's too late. Shadow Fiend is already almost on his second Midas pickup.
And that'll probably put him. He has 2 slippers of agility. I don't know what that'll do.
I know. I called you for that.
So Shadow Fiend will probably pick up his treads here once he gets enough money. But you know, right now we just got the status quo. Mirana lands an arrow on Slardar, but not going to make anything happen because of the stun coming out from Vengeful Spirit. Slithering Crush, this will be a dead Mirana. Now, if only he had had some TP supports, he might have been able to do that. Grave, a little bit of a waste. There was nothing there except for creeps. But Shadow Wave, heal him up, and continue farming. The Slardar making his way to 2nd on the net worth list. Above the TA, actually, so...
Yeah, and really at this point, their top priority should be shutting down this Slardar. Once he gets his blink, which is 300 gold away, that is going to be massive. That's going to allow him to start roaming, start putting some points in the bash.
And he does have the damage amplify now, so any attempts at kills he's going for are going to be that much more effective.
And here's some of the second arrow, and it's going to miss and hit a creep. That is going to be big. That could have been her really good pickup for her to stop him from getting this blink anytime soon.
But on the other hand, that was almost under the tower, and he's got the Dazzle. No mana, but you know, just that extra support and the damage amplify, that could have been a dead Mirana if he tried to engage.
And talking about this aura, look, Dro's aura is already giving a bonus 22 damage to Dazzle and all the other ranged supports on the field. That is actually quite big, especially for such a low damage hero. 62 base, that 22 is actually doing a sizable amount.
For his support, though, Dazzle does hit pretty hard, and now coupled with the Vengeful Spirit aura that's there, that's a scary lane. Even look at Drow herself. She hits for, without any extra bonuses, she hits for what, 140? That's hard.
Yeah, and now this is becoming, that's the pinnacle point. She's got level 6. This is where last hitting for her is going to become a much easier task, as long as she keeps the distance from the Templar Assassin, which Templar Assassin is coming down in, and that's what we talked about, that gust. The gust was so powerful, pushed her back, saved Dro's life right there, allowing her to keep her distance, and making no follow-up in terms of spells.
Just for a point of reference, anyone doesn't follow Dota 2 quite so closely, that the white line that came out from Drow Ranger, and silences whoever's hit by it can't cast spells, and it pushes them back. It used to be that she had a spell just to silence people, and it kept them where they were. But it
and
really
interrupt that show. We have a smoke gate coming down bot. Vengeful Spirit is caught dead. They're just going to get just easy pickup right here. Now it's going to be up to Dazzle. Dazzle's going to use the shallow grave. I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, the arrow hits. That is going to secure her death.
That's a 5-second arrow right there. Way to go. Great placement on that arrow from North.
And there you go. Slardar just was able to pick up his blink. This is going to be now a big roaming game for him.
Did I miss something? Slardar has no health. He went mid and picked up TA.
And yeah, we started for missing that. But however, Timbersaw leaving this lane, big mistake. Look at Shadow Fiend was able to explode and farm, coming in at 5,648 net worth, number 1 by a long shot, almost twice the worth of their Dro, on the other team's top player. And that is going to be big. They need to shut him down. He already has his Midas. He already has his Helm of Dominator. And
that's the Midas. It's letting him do that. The 36 souls giving him how much damage? That's 160. So he's hitting harder than Drow, which is saying something.
Yeah, this is at this point. You need to start using your Slardar, start roaming, start putting down some aggressive wards in their jungle, tracking out where is he going, and just ending this farm. That is not something you want to go. And he is leading their gold graph in that direction. Just look at it. It's almost going up 3,500 gold in favor of Road to 3K. The XP is in the same direction.
You know, this is where Drow starts to, you know, I don't want to say fall off, but she has no real initiation technique, no real escape, so she can't pursue. And if TA pops that refraction, that's 6 to 8 hits where Drow's just not doing any damage, and she's not very helpful.
Now here's an interesting thing I've been seeing in the pro scene coming up. I've been seeing the rise of a Blink Dagger Dro. It's a very interesting way to deal with her initiation problem. However, here's the thing is on Dro, who really desperately needs this item, Blink is giving her no ability boost. It is just pure mobility. And ultimately the point is it fully worth it at that point?
That's true. You actually see Blink Dagger picked up on a lot of carries these days. A couple patches ago, it might have been 6.7 or 6.80 actually, where they removed the mana cost, which is big for all these, you know, these strength and these agility heroes who don't have that big of a mana pool. You know, you see it on Wraith King.
And then we
too.
see Start of Lance's bounce with Blink, and that's gonna be a good pickup at Sand King.
That was 2-shot from Drow on the Sand King. She hits hard.
At this point, but still here's the issue, and Shadow Fiend's just sitting right up here. Mirana's still she
wow. That arrow. You know, they're gonna stun Sand King, stun Shadow Fiend, but that's not enough.
Yeah, they seriously need to start putting up some aggressive wards. Mirana's arrowing is on point today. Getting all these maximum distance arrows is just something you need to put a stop to.
What do you think about a BKB pickup on Drow? I mean, that would prevent that from happening.
That is a very interesting idea, but this has so much cooldown how late it goes down until later in the game. They just have so many other issues. I think better thing to build first is probably a pipe. Just given that boost in magic blocking, they have so much magic damage they have to deal with. Ancient Apparition, Sand King, Sandstorm, and just so much other they just have to deal with. And that's just, it's going to be a major issue. And they're going to take down mid. Big upset right here. Slaughter's TPing in, then instantly blinks out.
That's a tower. No, that's the second tower of the game.
Yep, that's the second tower of the game, and he's going to rush in.
Arrow
doesn't have enough.
Again.
They just have to start putting endless, and Dazzle goes down. Timbersaw blazes through. He's just going to go down right now, and starts going back around. Can he get lit a hit? Dro pushes them back. He's coming back in. He's going to be able to pick off Templar Assassin if he goes in. No, he's rushing out. He's trying to live for the last life. They're going to follow him up the hill. They're all in this. He has no idea where they are. And Ancient Apparition is going to go down.
It was the refraction. I don't know if you saw it. Drow was just sitting there right-clicking TA for 5 minutes. And
yeah,
kept all
at this
hits
point,
on.
Dro really needs a hyperstun. She needs to be able to wipe away those refractions.
Or, you know, I would just say Dazzle should use his Poison Touch on TA. That would burn the refraction away.
And now they're going to rotate around. At this point, okay, they're checking Roshan. Good stun. I really don't at this point, how much is it really worth it to go for this? It will definitely give Shadow Fiend a sizable lead.
And he does have the presence of the Dark Lord. That's 4 armor reduction. So Roshan will go down pretty quick. He has -6 armor.
Yeah, -6 armor. That's going to be really massive.
Who do you put the Aegis on?
Definitely Shadow Fiend. He built it, just gives the dominance. He's at 9 seconds.
There it is.
And they had no idea, and it's just they're gonna just back off. They are gonna go for a smoke. Don't really fully know what they plan to do with the smoke. They really have no tracking of where they're gonna go. They do know Sand King's up top, but that right now is the least of their worries. I think they're just gonna sit around mid and hope for them to continue pushing. But really, at this point, if you're Road to 3K, you just take out bottom tower. You just slowly move in. You have this Shadow Fiend who has so much more farm. It's just at this point, you just let it go. You let the momentum carry you through the game. There's no reason to try too hard. And right there, again, another 5-second arrow.
Stop leading, otherwise that's just going to happen every single time.
But Star definitely punishes the blink in, and now here comes the Ancient Apparition. They have to back out. They have nothing to recover back from this.
A couple lucky bashes there. They might not have had that kill.
And right there, Dro is way too up ahead. Lucky, very lucky Shallow Grave by Dazzle to keep her alive. That would have been one dead Dro.
You're looking at the item pickups. We got the Drums of Endurance on Drow and the Arcane Boots up on Timbersaw and Blink on Slardar. That's really all we got out from Standard Gaming. Road to 3K, they have Treads and Blink on their Templar Assassin, 2 sets of Mana Boots, Hand of Midas. So they're definitely sitting well off for gold. They have about an 8,000 gold lead right now and about an 8,000 experience lead for R3K.
Yeah, even just looking at the last hits, Dro, even with her really easy ability at this point at last hit, still nowhere near Shadow Fiend. Just not going to be able to keep up. Gold per minute with Shadow Fiend is already at 610.
And 2 of them are sitting atop the net worth chart, so they've got the gold and they know how to use it.
However, there he goes. Shadow takes the tower. I think right now, if
Go
you're
look
at
at
this
the bottom,
point,
there's an engagement
there's one.
happening.
You see Dro going with drums. Very controversial pick.
Those arrows are on point.
Dominating.
Yeah, and down bottom, they TP'd in to 2 barrage arrows cleaned up fast. At this point, I'm going to really say you just oriented Drow, go Shadowblade, go Desolator. She is a tower taker. Since she gets a creep there, she's going to be able to take towers easily, just how much damage she's doing. And there it goes. It just lands. That's going to probably pull her to death.
That'll be at least 2 dead right there, I would say. Nice
swap.
defensive swap from Vengeful Spirit.
But the bottom tower is going to go down to cost that along with 3 of their lives. They really need to pull it together at this point.
You know, looking at the draft, I might have said that arrow,
and Dro. Oh,
she needs
so
to stop
low.
being an arrow catcher. But you know, I might have said that Drow would out carry R3K's lineup, but they've got the momentum, and Mirana and Shadowfiend, they're really momentum heroes.
Yeah, they just let Shadowfiend get too much of a presence in his lane too early. If they had let Timbersaw get his level 6 early enough and be able to phase him out of that lane. But he's sitting at this point. He already has a Hyperzone. He has a plate mail on the way. He's going to be able to build this AC in no time. And we're going to see Slardar go up and be able to get down Ancient Apparition.
Tries to TP out, doesn't make it. Good last second grave, but you got to question if he should have saved himself or his Timbersaw.
And he's going to go down right there and throw it very low. And he goes down to Templar Assassin.
There you go. There's the poison touch on Templar Assassin. She won't pop the refraction until that's over because it would just die anyway.
And another arrow lands. These are completely on point. Goes down. Dazzle's the last one surviving. His ulti is going to be up in 16 seconds. He just has to phase back and hopefully land his ulti on them. And then hopefully from there just be able to phase out. If these racks go down, it is very early. That's 18 minutes in.
18-minute racks. That is a great time. Shadowfiend, you know, he doesn't even care. He could heal himself up, but he's got the Aegis, so he'll just sit
And
here.
Dazzle needs to get out, and he's going to actually dodge the Ancient Apparition.
Arrow again.
And that is, oh, this is really bad at this point. They're going to use a fight, but it's already down. At this point, really, what do? You can go for the Shadowfiend, but you have to deal with
Wind
his way
Crush,
back.
that'll be a dead Templar Assassin. Requiem winds up. Shadowfiend still has Aegis though, so
21 health, he goes
you go.
down. This is their big chance to come back.
that'll be a dead Mirana. So 3 kills coming out first.
But yeah, they're going to have to let him walk.
They'll just disengage because they can't take that. Full health Shadowfiend with, does he have his AC yet? Not quite.
He actually could probably go right now and buy. I think
It's
this
on the courier. It's on the courier.
It's actually on the courier on the way right now. And they actually were very smart. They went for the melee racks. A lot of teams keep forgetting to go for the melee racks first. Going to be a much better push and presence in that lane. And we're going to see...
For anyone who doesn't know what he's talking about, there are 2 barracks there, and when you kill them, your creeps, so your little automated minions, are a lot more difficult to kill. And the melee one, if you let it go, it will actually regenerate itself, while the ranged one here will not.
And we're seeing Slardar rushing up top, hopefully to pick up the Sand King and Ancient Version, both very, very nimble heroes. He's coming in close, links in, puts it down the assault.
He needs some bashes here. He's going to get stunned.
And right there, that was actually poor coordination. Dro's Guts actually pushed them away, actually into safety, and it might not be enough.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow.
And Moonlight Shadow comes in, Sand King comes in, but he gets instantly punished right there. They knew it was coming. They had to play ready. Arrow comes in, Slardar goes down. That was their big tank. He's kept alive by the Shallow Grave, and the ulti's going to come from Dazzle. He couldn't come up there through. Dazzle's caught down. Templar Assassin's probably going to pick
There's
him
the
up.
Ice Blast.
My blades and my mind are as one.
You know, I have to say right now, MVP is this Mirana with the arrows.
Yeah, constantly on point.
And Refraction will make it, she can walk away just fine.
If that's something you cared about.
You know, no one's even gone back to this illusion rune for about 6 minutes. They don't even care.
Barracks is being attacked.
Really, at this point, it's just about them keeping constant harass, making sure none of these heroes can come back at all.
Radiant's bottom
And
barracks is
look at this, he's already as Assault Cuirass, Helmet Dominator, and a Demon Edge.
Arrow. There's no one there to catch it this time. But you know, there's also no one there to stop them. They're just going to hit this tower with impunity, and they can back off if they need to. Ice Blast pushes in bottom.
And these are just on-time ultis, they don't have the damage at this point.
You know, he swapped Shadowfiend onto his team with the Requiem.
The time of this Dazzle is just keeping them alive for so well. Constantly hitting these Shallow Graves last minute.
3-man crush, and No, will they disengage? No, I don't think they'll
Really,
come
at this point, Slar just does not have the items. What does he have? He has a Blink and Power Treads. These are not enough damage dealing items for him to carry through.
Dro will get the hit on Templar Assassin. She does have a Yasha, so he has a little bit bonus movement speed and the agility. Arrow will fly through, split the wickets there, and knock that.
And she gets that
Double kill. Can she get? She does get Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend goes down. That is going to be big in terms of Goldie, but however, they're still suffering from the HI version ulti. It might go down right there.
Double kill for HI apparition, and that is solely based on the Ice Blast. You know, it hits and does damage, prevents them from healing, and does damage on its own, so they can't take that at all.
I'm trying to pull up right now how much gold did they kill. He got 719 gold for killing the Shadow Fiend. That is impressive. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, though, at this point.
It's big, but then he died right away, so unless he bought something in those split couple seconds, it didn't help. I mean, just look at net worth. They've 4 of the top 5 and then number 6. So
I'm even afraid to see this for them. Look at this difference in gold already going at 25,000, about 25,000 difference. XP 20,000. It is completely in favor for Road to 3K.
They've got a Sand King. He's got Blink. He's got Arcane Boots. He's got Urn and a Null Talisman, and he is above Slardar. You know, that's the second core hero for Standard Gaming, and one of the supports, the last support for R3K is higher than him in net worth. That says something.
Yeah, and looking at Ancient Emperor, so close to building up the Agnum Scepter, and once that comes out, that is going to be just constant harass on their team.
That 17-second, the Dazzle won't be able to heal anyone, and damage will be happening constantly. So that Agnum Scepter pickup is key. Not that they're in a hurt locker for it, but it is going to just put the final seal on this here. For Standard Gaming,
do not. Dazzle at this point, seeing 1,200. Really, at this point, should be going to buy his mana boots. Just at this point, they have no map control. They have a single ward on this hill right here. Not knowing is also observed. Really, at this point, nothing that I will keep out of the map. At this point, it's just about turtling, and I don't think they're going to get it. Once, I'm assuming this Demon Edge right here is going to go.
Smoked up in mid here. They're going to go for a gank on the Templar Assassin, but she'll scout it out somehow. Either they know something's wrong, or she just wants the rune. Oh,
and
nice
there
crush.
was a nice crush. Gives it to him on the gut.
And she'll
pop
be
a backing
out,
bar.
but will it be enough? He can blink again and sprint right after her. She blinks out, and they'll just disengage.
And this is the same thing with the map control. They do not realize there's no one there. But that's the thing is, they have no idea if anyone's there or not. They're going to pull back. They need to have these aggressive wards at this point. And Slar just does not have the goal. He puts up an Ogre Club at a 23-minute mark. He should be having his BKB. That's real at this point. He needs his major damage item or magic immunity item.
If you look where the wards are, both of them have them in the same spot there at the one little hill, and that's a defensive ward here for Standard Gaming and offensive for R3K.
And Drow is way too out. She needs to get
she
really.
Can't see it.
Oh, and there's a run. This actually might have scared her off just in time for her to get out.
They thought she'd already killed the camp, and that would have hit on her. That would have been big.
And really, at this point, I'm going to say you got to turtle this, and you need to use Drow as the off-lane pusher. Sitting here at about 135 damage, 150 soon you take into consideration.
But you know what? If you look at the heroes that are on Standard Gaming, it's actually, I don't want to say easy to go high ground against them, but it's not like they have any major AoE damage. Timbersaw can't do anything if there are no trees around, and the rest of them are single target. The swap, the stun, Drow, bash on Slardar, and the Grave. They don't really have any wave killing techniques.
Yeah, really at this point, Drow needs her Hyperstone. She just really needs to be able to switch targets, and he's going to jump Blink in, put up the ulti, and there it is. This Ancient Apparition ulti is so good with this Agnus system, and they have to run away.
TA, she'll catch the Dazzle by blocking his path. That's a really good play.
Really good play. However, he is really on spot with these Graves.
Wasted Epicenter. He could have blinked forward and decided not to.
And there it goes down. That was a massive move by Sand King.
What a Burrow strike.
He will eventually go down, but
it doesn't matter.
And that is going to be an easy mid-lane cleanup right there.
I'm a big fan of playing to the end, but I would not be surprised if Standard Gaming tapped out.
Yeah, and Nakori also went down at the same time, and we missed that part.
Was there anything on it? Just some observer. That's R3K's career. Let's see what's on the.
That was actually big. Arcane. No, sorry. Yeah, nothing was on the other courier. But this is going to be an easy lane. At this point, don't waste your fortify. Save those for the racks. You're going to get your Vengeful Spirit, your Starter, and your Dazzle up. Maybe Timbersaw.
And there is the Aghanims on Ancient Apparition, so if it hit on anyone, that's big.
And they're going to go right back again for Rashawn. It's going to be easy for Rashawn to get out. He has his sword. He actually went for the Daedalus instead of the Monkey King bar, which I thought he was probably going for it because I think it's
Radiant's
just be
middle
so much
tower is
easier to
under
get up
attack.
the upper towers.
probably
But
already knew
at this point, he just has the damage. He has the attack speed. They really don't have much. He misses a few hits. That's going to be no big deal for how much
And
he's
he's
just
got
doing.
2,300 in the bank. He could buy a blink deck.
And he is actually 4 seconds away from another Midas. He is just completely out of control. 20,000 gold at already at the 25-minute mark. There's going to be little stopping him at this point.
They will back off now. Oh, maybe they'll go in, but Shadow Fiend spotted out.
And just at this point,
They
he
can't.
does not have enough damage to kill him in time for a
crit.
gun.
And they'll have to run away just first thing.
Combo Assassin's going to probably take on Dro here. Oh, good
Oh,
swap, but it's just
that-
not enough.
That was a questionable swap. I don't know if you could have seen it coming, but he swapped him into the arrow.
Yeah, that was. I think it's more on skill from Mirana. Mirana just knows so well where they're going to go, and that is it. That is going to be an easy tower. They have a fortify up. They're going to use
Fortify
it here.
will hold him back, but no one's up and no one's coming up, so they can't
Yeah.
even defend this. And with the creeps in, they could just rotate top and get mega creeps. And there's
Oh,
the
and there's the GG.
Radiant's middle
So that will be
tower
the
is
end of
down.
game 1. R3K takes it, and we will probably move in here shortly into the second game of the series. You know, I think that was just a matter of R3K got some gold and got some last hits early, and they didn't stop.
Yeah, they really should have actually prepared much better for this the Shadow Fiend solo lane. They just did not have what it took for Timberstar. They should have rotated some supports in, kept it harassed.
I'll bet
and
they
kept it
expected him mid. I'll bet that's what it was. They expected him mid. We're gonna jump right in here. We have
Yeah, we're create another lobby.
all right. As soon as I see it here, I'll jump in so I can get. There we go. And we're gonna switch sides here, so we'll have R3K on the Radiant, and then whenever Standard Gaming gets together, they'll move themselves in here to the Dire. Gonna add a delay. Do you also want to put your open mic on so people who might be watching us in Dota TV can watch?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be possible because they'll be able to watch yours, but not through mine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
'cause, like, oh well,
Yeah.
well, we can deal with that.
And while we're sitting here, I'd like to know from the tech staff, have they been able to fix the crowd hearing us? Crowd, can you hear us?
Anyone, crowd? I'm getting thumbs up, so
Crowd, can you hear us? Thumbs up.
thumbs up. Awesome.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We were here and they couldn't hear us throughout the first half of that last
Yeah,
game.
okay. So we're just waiting for the last member on.
And he's in unassigned.
Okay.
Both teams.
Hold on, I'm getting a tech staff up front. 1 second.
Is there a way for you guys to turn up the volume on your casting?
That's
up?
over there. That's not us.
When you were casting, not so much, but now when you got like the thing when it was like that,
Okay.
when you were casting, not so much.
Okay.
Well,
Hello, hello.
Maybe just talk closer to the mic.
Okay.
okay. Well, I'll move.
Okay,
this
now
over.
he's.
Yeah, you're especially soft.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be a little bit closer now. That's my fault.
Okay,
R3K.
Roto
Good to
3K,
go?
are you good?
Standard. You good to go?
Are you good?
Good. All right.
Okay, we're gonna start.
We're gonna hop into game 3. We're gonna hop into game 2, and then we're gonna see the draft.
Okay.
All right, so we have them all loaded in, and we're gonna head into the draft here. Do you expect anything different based on what we saw?
Really, at this point, I'm gonna say we haven't seen too much. I mean, do you go with the conventional ban just in pure fear of what's going to happen? Ember Spirit in public and stuff does not have that high of a win rate, but that's because it's just sort of reserved for high players. You see the Invoker ban. Invoker is still very common and feared to the public scene. Lycan ban. Do you see the Ember? Do we see the Ember Spirit ban here?
I think we do. If not first round, then second.
I'm going to say probably they want to ban out Shadow Fiend or Mirana. They already show the other team such strong dominance with these heroes and these timing. Do you just ban them just because you realize that weakness? Or do you just try to adapt and say maybe we pick them first, we can play better, or just have some heroes that strongly counter these heroes. It's going to be a very
You know,
interesting pick.
I could see it going either way.
And they're going to go with the Emperor Spirit. They're just going to realize that
Radiant's pick.
ultimately with those heroes we saw last time so dominant, we see the Ancient Apparition, very common versus support pick.
You know, that Ice Blast is really good. I really think, you look at these bands, the Lycan, the Emperor Spirit, people really don't want to deal with pushing lineup. I mean, just look at Standard Gaming's logo. They don't like Nature's Prophet either. So we really want to see, based on these picks and bands, the team fight based, kind of the mid game based lineup, not the late game or the pushing. And that's something to deal with. You could draft a particular way if you know that.
Now, really, at this point, like the Mirana arrows, they're going to go. There it is, Mirana pick. Really, at this point, Mirana and Shadow Fiend, I'm going to actually say Puck is a very good pick against them. The blinking out, the mobility of them, this allows them to ground circles around them. Good nukes, good silence, just a good disabler to take them down and do so much handling of them. And we're going to see a Shadow Shaman.
We saw this in one of the semifinal matches as well. Usually you think of the Bane Mirana combo for the Nightmare and the Arrow, but that Shackle is just as good.
Radiant team.
And now this Lifestealer coming off of Roto 3K. Very interesting pick this early in the draft. Now plays a guessing game of who's going to be Lifestealer Bomb. Now going back to the Shadow Shaman. Similar issue we saw with the semifinal matches is they went for this, but he just had too much room and they weren't able to pick up their picks with the Shackles and Mirana. Mirana was losing XP fast. She just wasn't getting where she needed to be enough. And the other team just stayed in their lanes, got the farm, essentially put Mirana to be completely useless. And that's really going to be at this point. Mirana should, at this point, Shadow Shaman just be a very strong lane presence. Unless you have a really good plan. You keep up the warning. You keep up the smokes.
Lifestealer then is a really interesting pickup this early because he's really easy to counter. He's slow. He has to be right next to somebody. And while he does tear through squishy heroes pretty fast, he really benefits when he's up against, a Centaur or a Pudge. Someone where his lifesteal, which is based on a percentage of their total health, can really get him back to full health.
Yeah, and talk about it. You already see they banned the Death Prophet. Death Prophet, late game, very fast, very agile, has all the spells that just completely disable and put down a lifesteal. That's just not going to be able to get close, not be able to get the good hits he needs. And that's probably good wise picking. Good general hero they probably will not want to deal with their lineup so far. And we're going to see a Lion ban.
That's really weird, actually. I mean, either they couldn't think of something else or they actually think there's a Lion in here, which I don't see, but maybe they know better than I do. I won't put that out.
The only thing I can see from Lion is just really how well of support. Once he gets level 6, Mirana has a much harder time. And we're going to see a Weaver ban, actually, from Lifestealer.
They're banning out people that are hard for Lifestealer to kill.
Yeah.
Weaver is so incredibly mobile. He has the Shikuchi, he has the
Time Warp.
Time Lapse.
Yeah, Time Lapse. Yeah. And, yeah, that is a big pick.
And
And there's going to be a Bristleback ban. And I can sort of see that. That's just, again, early game hero. So much harass. Those pins.
If it were me, I would have picked the Bristleback to place the Lifestealer. He's coming for me. If I were me, I would have picked the Bristleback. The quills go through Lifestealer's rage, the physical damage, and Lifestealer can't do much if he's going at Bristleback from behind, which he nearly always will be. There's no reason for the Bristleback.
Yeah, and
seconds to go.
And actually, I've been really wanting to see is so far we've seen it sometimes in the new metas is Bristleback and CM Fear just so well how much aura stacks with it. And now we see the good Dazzle pickup. Very good pickup. His Shallow Grave is so useful. Last game we didn't see too much good use of it because they had so much follow-up. But really, Shallow Grave saves lives, saves carries.
And there's your Lifestealer bomb right there.
Right there, perfect Lifestealer bomb, Storm Spirit. So, just allows so much mobility throughout it. And actually, if you look at the lineups, once he gets his Orchid, Dazzle, Shadow Shaman, they're going to be in a world of hurt right there. He's going to be able to come in, silence them, just lay on his spells, and just get out. You have nothing much for follow-up.
This is also a risk from R3K, though, because Storm Spirit to a lesser extent, but Storm Spirit and Lifestealer are really not very early game heroes. Storm Spirit needs that momentum. He needs a good start in the lane. And Lifestealer, obviously, is pretty late game carry. Once he gets a couple slots full of items, he's scary.
Yeah, not even at level 6 is Storm Spirit any much good because he needs the mana to sustain that ulti.
He needs an Orchid, he needs a Bloodstone, he needs something that's going to keep him able to zip around and deliver that Lifestealer, because that's clearly what he's going to be asked to do.
So at this point, this is actually, if he is a mid Storm Spirit, which is very typical, this is very early for pick for a mid. They have so much more opportunities to pick out. And really at this point, I would say the counter of Storm Spirit mid Silencer, just so much of a threat, so much harassment on that mana.
Silencer would be an unconventional pick, but I like that a lot. I think it would do good.
And it's also the big thing is it puts a lot of risk on Storm Spirit dying in team fights because every single integer loss in Storm Spirit is going to be max.
And
there
that's
you
how
go.
you counter the Storm Spirit right
You
there.
go with Outworld Devour. And here's the thing is, what if this isn't a mid Storm Spirit?
I think the only person I've ever seen play that is Savost on Na'Vi. I really doubt that. But you know, it's always possible.
But like we already saw from last game, they already went with Shadow Fiend solo lane.
That's true. This
and
is
that is going to be
unconventional.
that would be a very big fear because you are dealing with the two heroes right there who have nowhere near level 6. When you're level 6, if you have that
10
mana pool, you zoom up to
seconds
them,
to
you
go.
put down spells, you zoom back. That's going to be early game harass.
Well, then who do you pick up
5
against Outworld
seconds.
Devour if you're going to put mid? My guess would be Razor, but I don't know if that synergizes well with anything else.
Reserve time.
I think you have to just deal with Outward Devour does not have that early game health. He needs typically what you've seen build as a mech to give him some kind of sustainability. I mean, Pudge is a controversial pick against Outward Devour. It comes down to a big thing of how well is Pudge going to be able to block, avoid storms before he gets a good range on a hook. But if he does that successfully, those hooks will tear away Outward Devour. He cannot take the damage from the hooks.
Yeah, I guess Outworld Devour in that sense works the same as Puck. You know, because of the imprison or the phase shift, Pudge should never hit a hook on Outward Devour. But if he does, it hurts and it's big, and Outward Devour will go down.
Yeah, and that really comes down to just, are they going to counter pick him or just plan to outplay him at this point? They're just like, we see you pick Storm Spirit, we believe you did just to counter pick, and you don't have any skill in it, and we're just going to go, we know we can out-skill you in this fight. And I don't know if Nick's Assassin.
That's a strong
Dire
pickup too,
team
because now you don't know where the lifestealer is going to be at any given moment.
Yeah, that is, and that's also a very good thing. Is you don't know who's mid. Nick's Assassin could actually be a very good mid against Outward Devour. His long range spike stun at early game is going to be very powerful.
My guess, though, is we see Nyx and Ancient Apparition
10
roaming with a Storm
seconds
Spirit
to go.
mid, a Lifestealer safe lane there, and then whichever off lane they
5
pick here.
seconds.
And that just actually puts down a major issue because most Invis heroes and Invis-based teams,
Reserve time.
you just put down a few Invis wards and you don't have to have too much more extensive warding. But you have Storm Spirit, you need to have your warding on top. You need to know where is he coming to. And that puts on Shadow Shaman and Dazzle very heavy ward purchasing.
10
Shadow Shaman, I'll be
seconds to
very
go.
surprised if they have to keep up the warding and be able to get his Blink or his Aghanims. Same with Dazzle.
Dyer's pick.
Dazzle, I mean, I guess at this point, you just push Dazzle, you might get a mech, you might get like brown boots, and everything else at this point needs to be wards. And right now, Road to 3K just has a really expensive team with standard games lined up to counter. And really at this point, what do you go with? You sort of see like very common in Tri-Lane, Mirana, Shadow Shaman, Dazzle. Who is their offlane in this situation? You do not. And you have Chaos Knight.
You know what?
Radiant's
This looks to me like Chaos Knight safe lane, Mirana off lane, Outward Devour mid, and then the supports. You could do 2 dual lanes. You could do a tri lane. You could even have a roaming. These supports could go anywhere.
I'll be really interested to see some classic Dota here, 2-1-2 lanes.
2-1-2 is making a comeback.
And now we have Road to 3K at this point. You just want to just sit back, what is the pick going to go with? Make sure you do not want to go back into a 1-to-1
seconds to
situation,
go.
a 1-1 game situation, best of 3 at finals.
They
Not,
can take their
5
time here. They've got a minute
seconds.
left. But who do you pick up if you're R3K right now to supplement this really classic lineup?
Reserve time.
oh, this is going to. It's really hard at this point because anything with Outward Devour, I would just say go through the 3.0 gain abilities. You just want to go like PL versus Outward, and it comes down to a race of who farms better. And that is sort of a fair assumption. But the thing is, you already have Vice, you already have Storm Spirit, both who really want their farm. Then you have Nyx Assassin, who, to really make a good presence late game, he needs his full-fledged Lagoon, and that's a lot of gold he's looking at right there. And they go for a Rubik, a very interesting pick, very early good support.
You look at Standards Gaming, and there's not a whole lot of big-ticket spells to steal, but you can steal the arrow. Shadow Shaman, he could steal a lot of things. There are a lot of little pickups. So if he plays this, it's really subtle, but it could be very good.
Yeah, I think the really big pickup for Road to 3K on them is Serpent Wards. Those would be very good for him to pick up. It's going to be a tower exchange essentially. They take a tower. The other team takes a tower, and also Chaos Knight, maybe Phantasm. I'm not sure. So like that. I mean,
I don't think that helps
Rubik's
Rubik
much.
that much.
However,
Sanity's Eclipse.
Sandy's Eclipse, actually, if you're looking back at Rubik's Integer Gain comparison to the Marana and the rest of the other team besides our Devourer, of course.
All right, so let's jump in here to the game. On Radiant side, we've got R3KG farming the
This should be
Lifestealer.
interesting.
Death Hates Wisp is on the Storm Spirit, seems to be walking bottom. We'll see how long that lasts. Lolliot playing the Rubik. Nyx Assassin played by Brodok. And Wisp, Keeper of the Ursa, again, not playing Wisp, but playing the Ancient Apparition. Looks like we have a lot of them going top and Storm Spirit going bottom. I'll be interested to see if that's how these lanes go or if they move around.
Yeah, and up top we see what appears to be a tri-lane of Chaos Knight, Dazzle, and Shadow Shaman. Mid we have our Devourer, very common and everything. And you are right, we're going to go from Marana solo lane. That is a very interesting pick going up against the Storm Spirit.
R3K is really good about messing up their lanes. If you're up against them, I don't think you can ever know what they're going to run. I would have called the Storm Spirit mid because that's the classic play, but he's farming bottom. He's playing a Havo Storm Spirit. Nyx looks like he's going to be mid, and then we have an aggressive tri-lane top with the Lifestealer. This is some next level gameplay right
Yeah, especially a double tri-lane top is going to be very interesting. And tri-lane Lifestealer, I guess yes. Like he will get his level 6. His ulti is not too much game changing. That's not something that he needs right away. Him getting the damage items is very important. And just down bottom, Storm Spirit versus Marana. I think comes down to a big thing of the issue of skill. Marana will have her pre-level 6 range area of the up hand. She has the arrow, and Storm Spirit really doesn't have much of a way to avoid it. Even if he has a 290 base skill, he didn't go into early boots. And she's going to have case. That is going to be big. Still no spells picked on her.
She's going to try to make a move on mid.
Arrow picked up.
She took Arrow first. If they can get a good lineup on this Nyx, Arrow.
And it's going to land.
Connects. It's going to be a long arrow. I don't know if this will be first blood. It might be. He could just pick up Carapace here. Yep. He levels nice imprison there.
But her haste has allowed her to keep going around, punish him if he ever tries to run too much.
And she has Arrow up in 2. She's going to run away, though. She needs to go back to bottom lane and get some farm.
Because you already have him free farming here. That is not going to leave the Storm Spirit. Not too much ahead, but still, every little bit counts for Storm Spirit. And up top, we have Ancient Apparition, Rubik, and the Lifestealer. And this is going to be a very interesting lineup against this team. I don't know fully who I favor against this lineup. Chaos Knight versus Lifestealer, late game.
If you're interested, you just swing back to bottom and look at Storm Spirit's skill build. He took Electric Vortex first, his pull. I mean, he was expecting to disable something, and then he goes Overload, not the static remnant like you'd see most of them. And you know what? We just missed first blood, so should be paying attention. Rubik picks that up on... Who was that? On the Chaos Knights. He must have overextended and gotten held by Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, Chaos Knight, common here to overextend. Yes, he has some good bulk beginning, but he's just not that integral, especially on a team with so much magic punishes. Like, look at Stun Duration on Telekinesis, Cold Feet, and Lifestealer just does so much early damage. And there again, they're complete, and right there, they have to constantly...
Body blocked up by his team, too. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that
and the creeps, please. Oh, God.
They are
really
way
bad.
overextending right now. They just need to pull this lane right up to the tower, get some stable farm.
I'd like to see...
And a down bot...
I'd like to see these supports, doing a little bit of pulling. I think the Chaos Knight could definitely use some safe farm.
Down bottom, we have Storm Spirit almost hitting level 4. He did put his point into Static Remnant. And in mid, the OD, I mean, he's tie-to-tied with Nyx, and that is really not somewhere you want to be. Because you want to make sure you have that lead. He's not doing that well on mana. And once Nyx gets level 6, if he gets the jump on OD, that is going to be really fast death.
Well, I mean, OD could always get off the really quick Astral Imprison, but he doesn't have any mana right now, and the mana burn is keeping it that way.
And bottom, I really think at this point, they just don't have, look, Dazzle has 500 attack range, Shadow Shaman has 500 also. They need Lina. Lina would have been a really good support hero for top. They just needed the support to give me
for R3K or for standard game?
For standard game, the Lina support would have been so good, keeping them out of range.
A little bit of harassment there that'll stun the creep, so it'll help him push a little bit. But not going to do any damage.
And then Rubik's pickup, just it puts a tiny inch of a over pushing to a mile. He's gonna be able to push him, take him up, pull him in closer, and just jump on that hero. And really, level 1, level 2 Dazzle, level 2 Shadow Shaman, they really don't have the spells or points they need to keep heroes alive.
Whiffed Impale on mid. I don't think it would have killed Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, this.
Outworld Devourer, yeah. But this Nick's definitely putting the pressure on him, and between the Impale and the Mana Burn, the Outworld Devourer is not getting much done.
Yeah, and actually, this Stormsphere, look at this. He's already atop of the net worth. Mirana is trying to race up to him. It's just he's already displaying his dominance.
You know, it was that like minute and a half where Mirana was mid trying to get a kill, and he had free run.
Yeah, and really at this point it's going to become who gets level 6 first. And if he's actually able to get level 6 really quickly and before her, he's going to be able to get probably another kill on her right there.
Be nice to see some rotation though. This is pretty well, Nace gets a double damage. He's not level 6 yet though, so he'll bottle it. I bet he waits till he gets level 6, takes his Vendetta somewhere, and that double damage is a kill.
I would actually probably just try at that point, just psych out either the OD, see how long you can keep him back, and then at that point maybe decide whether or not you want to dive the tower for it or not.
Here we go. It's too bad he didn't have Vendetta up there, otherwise that would have definitely been a kill.
But even at that point, he won't have enough mana for Vendetta. He probably needs to start moving back, getting up those rune charges, or some kind of way to build enough mana for Vendetta and probably Impale.
Rubik's heading home. He ran out of mana and doesn't have any...
yeah, and also we have...
going on mid, double damage rune was used. Again, Nick's just popped 6, and did he not... He either hasn't skill... There it is. There's the Vendetta.
There's the Vendetta, but he wasted the mana burn. Very good to keep Outward Devourer from doing much harassment, but still really helping him back.
He'll bottle up, but he still doesn't have enough for that Vendetta.
And Stormspear is now at level 6. He's going to be able to just completely fight around Mirana. It's going to be a very hard lane for her. And up top, we have Dazzle and Shadow 100. Just very poor. Oh, I'm sorry. Like very poor worth right there.
Up on top.
And it's going on there. And
Rage and not quite
he won't make it. He was very close. Mirana comes back up, lands an arrow on Ancient Apparition. This might be it. Oh, he is going low. Is he going to make it?
One more hit.
And there he goes. Leap. That was a good leap. You're going to take 2 for nil. And that's probably enough worth it. But however, they need to get back down bottom. Stormspear is getting this farm. You picked off, yes, the lifesteal, but then another support. If you clear wipe the tower, very big pickup.
If they could turn this in, they have 4 top. If they could turn this into a push and get an early tower, that's a gold lead. Although they do have to worry about Storm Spirit and Nyx, who are bottom and
yeah, those are 2 heroes you really have to worry about. And Nyx still has his ulti up. At this point, I would just pull it up. Look at how low Shadow Shaman is in terms of XP and gold. Dazzle's not too much more. He can just come and just get an easy kill off those 2 heroes, and then put up a carpet and just walk away at that point.
The experience in gold were favoring R3K earlier, but it's down actually below 500 EXP difference, and
this tower is low. You're gonna get KS9 just dive way too low.
The Grave will come out, but he's frozen. So
and Stormspear comes up, and now that is the power of early Stormspear. He's
nice shackled, almost.
And this is going to be clean up.
This is bad for standard gaming.
Even with that wasted all his mana, that just shows the power of early Stormspear.
Going straight for the Shadow Shaman there, no way to get out. Rage will wear off, so
they're going to back away from the tower, and Mirana's arrow will miss.
Defensive arrow.
But that's the thing, is it just lets Stormspear get so much. He was able to come in and make a strong presence. Now you've had some more mana back up.
Storm Spirit needs the momentum, and they let him get it. That's what it comes down to right now.
Chaos Knight is going to go bottom, try to get some free farm up. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. He's still not level 6.
All he's got is his treads. You know, he'd probably work on the armlet next to the drums, but he is behind.
And yeah, really at that point, the treads I don't think was the smartest item for him to pick up. I think it's just more of a desperation of how little gold he had. Treads should be a later item. He needs last hitting. He needs to be able to get gold. He is at level 5.
And this will be our first tower down top. There's no way to defend this at this point.
And they're going to put up a glyph. It's just not worth it. It's just burn the glyph.
Delay it for, what, 5 seconds? But if you're not going to TP in and defend or try to deny, that's almost not worth it.
And look at this. It's all this much presence. And the Ancient Apparition is still not level 6. And they're going to actually TP bottom. Did not get a tower out of it. He is halfway between level 5 and level 6. Really, at this point, they just need to recollect their thoughts, come back, and then collectively take a tower, maybe top, even out that lane, feel a bit more even situation, and then just go for pickoffs. Like
Nick's TP's mid and he has Vendetta off cooldown. We'll see if he makes a move.
Radiant's middle tower
They
is
do.
under siege.
Standard Gaming does have 3 mid, but it doesn't look like they're going to push for him.
And really at this point, it's very interesting that Our Devourer did not go for a level 6 Sanity Eclipse. I knew you have Storm Spirit, very good rival, but against Lifestealer, once he's off rage, that is a good pickup, and this is going to be big. He's pulling them in.
No.
They're way too close into the tower for them to do any good. He's going to get his shackles on. It's not going to be enough, anywhere right enough. You just let him get so much ahead.
You know what? I think that if Shadow Shaman is level 6, that engagement goes quite differently.
Yeah.
They lay down the wards. Look how low these R3K heroes are. If they lay down the wards there, that goes very different.
Yeah, that could have been all of them dead along with a tower. It's just those things. They did not have a tri-lane that went their way. They just let too much.
Looks like we might be having some more technical difficulties, but I will continue on here. Everyone's just kind of split up farming at this point. You spread out to their lanes. Lifestealer, solo farming bottom. That seems to be kind of the theme here for R3K. They got one hero bottom at all times.
And now we go back up to the top, and we see KS Knight is about to reach level 6. He is actually probably going to go for Drums of Endurance first. And this is, I don't know how much this is going to actually regret. Road 2K is going to regret this, letting KS Knight get back up to, a good standing. Late game, Storm Spirit versus KS Knight. How do you favor this? I mean, once he gets up his Phantasm, that's going to be a very hard fight for Storm Spirit. However,
once Chaos Knight gets up a BKB, because that's usually kind of a core item on him, once he gets up that BKB, Storm Spirit can kill his illusions, but he can dodge the stun, sure, but he's not going to be able to actually do something to Chaos Knight himself.
Yeah, and really, with this kind of farm Storm Spirit have, I'm going to really question whether or not he's going to get his Organ and get Lincoln Sphere before KS Knight can do any kind of damage, and that really essentially just nullifies anything KS Knight could really do. He puts out one stun. That's really his save 2 item to kill Storm Spirit. And he has a Lincoln Spear, doesn't hit. That's going to be it. They really going to need to come together and sort of put an end to his momentum. And Lifestealer's momentum also getting really out of control. No full core items. He has phase boost right now, but it's definitely stuff's on the way.
Yeah.
And there's shootout an A ulti at this point. He just have the mana and the lead. He could just start shooting these out to quick ward.
I mean, it's only a 40-second cooldown.
Yeah, 40-second cooldown without Ags. It's sort of and he's gonna walk in. He's gonna come in. He's gonna pull.
Spirit jump in on mid. Astral Imprison will go on OD, kind of save him for a little bit. Shadow Shaman will almost go down, but they can't jump.
Yep, and that
was an interesting.
The Sandy Eclipse just missed Storm Spirit. I don't think it'll do very much actually. Looking at the energy, yeah, there's barely that much difference between Storm Spirit and Our Devourer, and this just.
And right there is Chaos Knight underestimating Chilling Touch, the ancient apparition spell that gives every hero in the AoE 70 bonus magic damage per hit. That's a lot of damage. Simply put, that's a lot of damage.
Now, really, at this point, they have Chaos Knight just not enough fights. Have some kind of way to save up HP.
Look at that Ice Blast. That'll be OD dead, probably. Shatter there. Yeah. The Ice Blast. Right on point from the Ancient Apparition.
And really, at this point, they just have so much confidence going in. Storm Spirit's doing so well. Looking at the XP graph is just going steadily in Road to 3K's favor. Difference in gold. It is plateauing. That is a good sign for STDG. Really, it is plateauing at 4K. That is recoverable. Really, at this point, this game is recoverable. They just need to put so much focus in getting KS Knight up.
To be honest, that plateau in the gold is because there is a complete and total lack of Midas in this game. Nobody has picked one up yet, and at this point at 12 minutes, I highly doubt we're going to see one.
Yeah, but Lifestealer is going I think, for pure items. He already has his phase boot. He goes for Armlet.
I heard an Infest.
Yeah, Infest.
Where's Lifestealer?
Infest is in
Smoke
Nyx.
up on bottom. They're going to find Nyx with the Infested Lifestealer, and they're going to get a surprise.
Yeah, that is going to be a big surprise. And that is going to be big. And
that's going to be
KS Knight, I don't know why he tried to stick back in a fight. That is just a bad.
Moonlight Shadow would have saved him, but then he had to stun.
And Our Devourer just coming way too late to the party. He's going to get picked up. In the side distance, we saw Mirana get picked up. This is way too aggressive. They overestimated how long it was going to take for Mirana to come off, and they just ultimately paid for it. And his OD really just needs to stay back. He has no way to get out of fights. He has no mechanism. He has no force staff. He just needs to stay back.
Somewhere I missed this, but the Dire Courier is dead as well.
Yeah,
I
that
wonder if it
was a
during
while
that
back.
engagement.
The Chaos Knight is just both. Chaos Knight and Outward Devour are coming way too much of the fight, and we're going to see Nyx is going to go in Viz, kind of come around, wait for that Impale, and he hits
Impale's
the
on
hit.
point. Rubik is gonna. Oh.
And right there, the Mana Burn. And that
Mana Burn is so good against Outworld Devour because it does damage based on how much intelligence you have. And Outworld Devour is, I think, the second highest intelligence. In
Yeah,
the
he
game
is.
after Pugna.
Yeah, he is at 3.3 per level. But even that, he's just not doing that much more ahead than Storm Spirit, who just has so much more levels ahead of him. And right there, there's a dive in. Chaos Knight's going to go down. We're going to get Dazzle to follow up. Shadow Shaman's going to run for his deal life. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to bottle up.
Oh, nice
that was a
arrow.
nice arrow, but I don't know if it's...
If he uses open wounds here, they're gonna.
And that's just the
they're gonna
power of
disengage.
Ancient Apparition. He just makes running away so much harder. And Odie, what are you doing? Why are you coming back? And he's just going to get caught up. He is going to be a dead Odie. He is doing...
Did he
very-
TP into the tier 1?
Yeah, he just came back to a fight. He just doesn't have the damage presence at this
Dire's
point.
middle tower
That was a
has
very,
fallen.
very questionable move. I mean, it could have worked if he flanked them, but his team wasn't there. They had no health. Some of them were dead, and they frankly weren't going that direction.
But at this point, it's just... You should at least at this point just taking turns. Chaos Knight farming the off lane. OD farming the off lane. You just need to come back late. Because OD late game is unstoppable. It just has so much damage coming your way. Essence Aura on this kind of heroes just allows them to keep using their spells over and over. And you can just shut down.
This is looking bad for Standard Gaming again. Look at the net worth chart. The Lifestealer is twice as high as everyone else.
Yeah, that is...
I
He's
mean,
twice as high as their next Mirana.
He benefits a lot from having items, and he's the only one that has items right now.
And I was even talking about earlier, the warding, they're barely keeping up warding. And look at that, Dazzle
Radiant's
and
middle
Shadow
tower
Shaman
is under
barely able to
attack.
keep up any of the gold count or any of their other items. They're going to get a first Serpent Ward's on a tower.
And Rubik steals the Serpent Ward. That was a bad
Yeah, that was...
Graves will save Chaos. Maybe it won't. Nope, it's not going to save him because he'll take down as soon as that's over.
And it just, again, rushing in.
Radiant's
Well,
middle
those Serpent
tower
Wards
is
killed
under
Rubik,
attack.
so he didn't get a chance to place his own.
But-
But I don't think it'll be enough to take
Yeah,
his
and they're
tower.
just dancing around the tower in this invis. They're going to get seen. It does land the imprisonment on Storm Spirit, but it's just not enough to really stop him any much. And they're going to pull him in. He's going to do so much damage. And
They stuck around just a little bit too long,
Yeah.
got a little bit greedy. And, well,
And
I guess the tower did go down, so there's that. But, 3 heroes for 1 in a tower. At this point in the game, you're this far behind. I guess you take what you get, but it's still not very good.
yeah, at this point, their saving grace is the towers are even. Towers are ultimately what will decide this game, but with this much kills, this much XP lead, going up 10,000 and the 10,000 XP difference and about 8,000 gold difference. Oh,
Well,
sorry about that.
Had a quick disconnect here from our caster, but everything's okay. We should be fine. I'm still in the game.
Yeah,
it's
sorry
interesting-
about-
Interesting item pickups here. The Rubik picked up drums, which frees up their carries to do other
Dire's
things.
middle tower is under attack.
And there's going to be engagement here.
Up in mid, sorry about this, coming back in late. They're going to pull him up, but there's so much
That Ice Blast is wrecking Standard Gaming right now.
Yeah,
They always get caught 2 or 3 heroes, and they're chasing.
and they're
behind
chasing
tier
down,
4s.
and that is really dangerous. And Nyx is going to get caught out, not enough.
Questionable move, but
And AA just has enough to TP away. Really, at this point, Lifestealer just had so much going for him that he could not take him down.
he got the Maelstrom too.
Yeah.
Rubik picking up the drums actually allowed him to. Is that Storm
Dire's
Spirit's
top
Orchid?
tower is under
That is
siege.
Storm Spirit's
Yeah,
Orchid.
Storm Spirit
so
Orchid is out coming on the way once he gets back. Yep, there
his
it is.
jumps are going to be that much more effective.
Dire's
And,
top tower
what do
is
you do
being
now if you're
attacked.
Standard Gaming? How do you handle this?
Radiant's bottom tower is
Looking
under
at,
siege.
I mean, Chaos Knight now has his drums. He can farm top. I mean, like, there's been so little activity in this whole region of the map. Like, all up and top. So little. Like, and he could just be coming up here, farming up lane, get some good aggressive wars, probably around here, the very common throughputs for Storm Spirit, and just farm all here. Just keep up the farm, keep going, and their quick pickoffs. Ancient versus Global Ulti just taking them so much. They need to keep up the health. Like, they don't realize, okay, and he goes down very easy kill.
Rubik stole the Chaos Strike there, or Chaos Bolt, excuse me.
Yeah, and that,
They'll get a return kill on the Ancient Apparition, but is it worth it?
and now actually really, I think we look over to,
And that's a dead Dazzle too.
yep, and that their supports, they're just disposable. At this
Arrow
point, they have
flies
no.
and misses, but you know Miss Marana is pretty much in trouble.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Well,
And she's going to get away. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. I think the biggest thing we overlooked, though, is Dazzle's null field. And giving that bonus magic resistance is actually probably a really big thing against their team. And we have to overlook because he has the telekinesis. He put 1 point into it, but clearly showed he wants the Faithful, that he wants the null field. He's allowing those more especially Lifestealers just to have so much more magic resistance, and that's the biggest thing that's possibly countering him.
absolutely. Other thing I find interesting is in neither of these games have we seen a mech pickup. It has just been that constant aggression. One team pushing too hard and taking so many kills that they don't ever take enough damage, and the other team's just on their back foot so hard that they don't have the money to make them to pick it up.
And I also just think it's because both teams have been showing their major early pick of Ancient Apparition that it just makes it so much harder because when do you do the...
That's true. With the Ice Blast, you can't even bother picking
Yeah,
up the mech.
by
It's not
late-
going to heal anything.
Yeah, because you can't heal anything, and once Ancient Apparition gets that 17-second ulti cooldown, that's it. She's going to keep spamming it, keep putting the mechanism on useless. And at this point, he actually picked up a really good Shackles. That's going to probably benefit them more than anything, and it comes in way too close. No idea what he's fully planning. He's going to... The Shallow Grave might save him.
No, between the Urn and the Ice Blast, he'll tick down and he'll go down.
Yep, yeah, and there he goes. He goes down. There's this tower going down. It is 32-7. They're winning this lane. But look at top. They just need to stick to this lane.
Yeah,
Shadow-
top is pushing in, actually. They're doing well without even being there.
Yeah, and really at this point, KSI is just coming to the fights when he shouldn't be. He should be staying back, getting farm, and just pray for a late game goes his way. Because really, that is the big thing you're going for a late game.
Yeah,
Tiniest mistakes give you massive punishment. You're going to be sitting in this fountain for 80 seconds, and if you buy back, you have no farm coming for you for a long time.
Yeah, if you buy back, but then
This
I
should be
mean,
interesting.
just look at Lifestealer. He hits hard. He has a Mjolnir there, and you know he's only going to get scarier as time goes on, especially if you don't stop him. He does have buyback available. He's one of the few that does.
And Nyx blinks in. He's going to just completely melt the Dazzle. Shadow Shaman is going to go down instantly. Oh, and Marana goes down first. Dazzle, Shadow Shaman right below him. Marana buys back, actually. Don't fully know how much is worth it. And really, though, like, they're completely underestimating. And the last communication.
They
And
can get a kill here.
Nope.
You can hear the team screaming, "Guys, help me!" That's what he needed, but he didn't get it. Nice Astral Imprison there to save
And that was a
Chaos Knight.
very good prediction on. It's going to ultimately miss, but very overall good prediction.
And while they're fighting bottom, Stormspirit's pushing in mid. He has
And-
his ultimate orb, which tells me he's getting a Lincoln Sphere. Although I guess, could that be a Hex too? It could be a Hex. My guess is Lincoln's, but it could be a Hex.
I don't know. If it's Hex, I don't think that's too much of an issue. He already shows he has enough damage to shut him down. I think really at this point it's just his big afraid of being caught out. He has very minimum health. He has 1.5 per level, showed no interest in any health items. He just takes a stun and they just dive on him for a tiny bit. His 1.1k health is just going to go down. They are they are smoking up. They're going to check Roshan.
Arrow flies and misses because there's no one there for it to hit.
How are they going to take this as a safe get-go to go and try Roshan?
They do have Weave, but they don't have any real...
And-
Ice Blast will scout it out too, so R3K knows that... Or thinks Smoke
Oh, and they're going to
pops.
come down. This might be big.
Nice
They do have the
Dual
health.
Scepter. And that'll be a dead Rubik. Nyx is invis on the backside, but he gets
They
hit
have the
by
bonus
Weave.
armor.
And Lifestealer is just going to town. This is dangerous for him because he's right underneath the wards and he is stunned up by the Chaos Knight.
It's just
It's
too
much.
little, too late. He has so much HP. He has so much HP, so much damage, so much regen. It's just not going to be enough to take him down.
That was almost very good for standard gaming, but they just neglected to see
Yeah,
the people
those were
coming
kind
in
of
from
plays.
behind.
Yeah, those were kind of plays we needed to see 10 minutes ago from standard gaming.
Absolutely.
They needed to come out earlier because Dazzle, Shadow Shaman, they only need an ability or two in those items and those skills, and that's really it. Barely any items to pull those kind of things off. And they're going to pay big with this with a tower at least,
Dyer's
maybe
middle tower
racks.
is under siege.
We're approaching 50 kills here, and we're before 25
Dyer's
minutes, so
sector-
we're
There's-
averaging more than 2 kills a minute. This has been a very active game.
Dyer's middle tower is being
And they're going to come down. I don't think they worry too much.
This is where you want the wards to be up for Shadow Shaman. And
Yeah, and they've already put it down too late. Only comes up from
Ice
8A.
Blast will hit on Dazzle. That'll be him dead.
Dazzle goes down dead. They're holding it. Storm Spirit down, and this is why he needs so
Arrow
long.
on point. 1,000 gold for that kill on Storm Spirit. This has been a good hold. They lost the tower, but if they can take down this Lifestealer, this might have all been worth it.
Yeah,
and
that is it.
he'll
And that-
rage and force staff. Okay, they try to kite him.
Dyer's top tower
That
is
was
Oh,
no.
this is just
Oh, no.
again too little, too late,
Wow.
and this is going to
Very good plays coming out from G there.
jukes for days here.
Oh,
Oh, 1,353 gold.
And then
this is going to be a comeback. Oh, he comes back in. Rubik steals the kill with Chaos Knight.
We got some all speak there. I don't know.
That is actually quite big. That is going to send Lifestealer back for 51 seconds. He is
does-
going to get his AC, but that's his really their big chance to come back. It's what I was talking about earlier. Storm Spirit barely have any health to sustain. He is going to go for a Hex. I still don't know whether or not that's a proper choice. He's going to have to be on point with his reflexes and dodging those stuns because he gets caught up like his shackles. 1,100 HP. Really, at this point, is not enough. It's not enough to keep him alive. They're going to be able to easily melt through that with base damage and
What he
barely
could be
any-
relying on is it does give him the mana regen, so if he can just use his ball
Dyer's
lightning back
top
and forth and
tower
dodge
is under
things, he
siege.
won't even need that survivability because no one can hit him while he's in that anyway.
Yeah, and furthermore, he could also be using to disable two enemies. Really, at which I would say Chaos Knight, Outworld. Those are two you need to disable. Let's say Shadow Shaman and Massive Shackles, they're not going to be able to start doing enough damage in time. And Rubik is already taking towers. Rubik, just looking at this current value, Rubik is number 3 on the start. He's actually passed up Nyx, just showing how much more gold ahead. The Ancient Apparition is actually almost tied with Outward Devour in terms of net worth.
I really like the Rubik Blink Dagger. That's one of my favorite heroes to play, one of my favorite items to get. Because, to blink forward and telekinesis is a really good initiation technique, and it can also help you dodge things so you can get that steal. I really like the play. I mean, he could have gone for a mech, he could have gone for something else, but it's a really aggressive type of item for him that I like.
And they're going to try to go for the Roshan pick. At this point, very interesting idea. They're going to hex the Roshan. They're going to put all the items on.
Either Standard Gaming doesn't, well, they have a ward, so they should know, but I don't know what else.
They do have the dire advantage. This is very suspicious, it appears. But really, at this point, that is the power of Ancient Apparition. It's just so good being able to counter healing and almost check the map. And look at it. There is. We're going to go in for a very epic.
Infested into Storm Spirit, and they are going for it. This could be bad for either team, but I'm going to say...
And they are... Rana's ulti is up.
They're going to get a
Ooh.
surprise if they engage on this. They're going to get a big surprise.
Very big
Wow.
surprise. And I don't even know why this Guardian Soldier at first. They has the Aegis. They are just going to wipe down this
Double
team.
kill on the Nyx, double kill on the Lifestealer. Outworld Devourer will try to make it away. He's got his Force Staff, but this is going to be a...
And this is just...
He's just going to turn and... Nope.
And ultimately, I don't even think it's too much carries. That this is just something. This is one of the things that the supports were not able to get the gold. They're not able to keep up with the warding that you need to keep up with Storm Spirit AA, knowing where they're going to go, where are these life bombs coming from. And that's essentially ultimately what this game boils down to. They're going to easily take these racks. Dazzle's coming up right now. Shadow Shaman soon, and Chaos Knight in 5 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough. This is their backs against the wall. They really need a miracle at this point. And AA just sprays the fountain to make sure they can't come out anytime soon.
They're going to... Now that the creeps are in there, they've removed the backdoor protections. They're just going to rotate bottom and try to get a second tier 3 tower and a second set of racks. And, it's very possible that they get it. They could try to stop. Oh, Arrow's on point. But then the Yules and the stun, they have to have no follow-up.
And that's what I was talking about right there. How easily Storm Spirit gets taken down. Right there, he's dead. But however, he has the Aegis of Immortality. He's going to come back, and he's just going to get right out. Oh, he gets stunned again. This is going to be big. They're going to.
I'm not certain I like that Astral. Because Storm Spirit just gets right
Oh,
away.
and then Ancient Apparition's always
And
going
that'll
to
be
do
a dead Chaos
big.
Knight.
And there it is.
He tries to pull himself out with Reality, but then the Ice Blast just takes him down anyway.
Dyer's bottom tower is being
Oh, and
attacked.
that's even because of the Assault Cuirass from the Lifestealer.
Dyer's bottom
And
tower
I don't know
has
if you're seeing this, the Lifestealer has a blink. I think that might be the first time I've ever seen that happen.
I've seen it a few times in pubs. Very good. It's just at this point floorboarding that how much gold lead he has that he could just burn it on items like this.
Dyer's bottom barracks
Looking
is
at
being
XP, 35,000 gold that favored them, and same with the gold lead for Road to 3K. It is very, very bad situation for standard gaming.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hope they don't tap out quite yet. This could be the final game here of our finals at Steel City LAN. I would like to see them play it out to the end. I mean, not a big percentage, but this game isn't over until the Ancient falls.
And really at this point, the big thing comes down is Lifestealer is their only threat. Storm Spirit, once they get a hold on him, they can easily have enough damage to kill him. Storm Spirit does
Stun.
not scale health-wise.
Arrow misses, but then
Ooh, and they're going to take him
That
down
is-
right here. That is going to be
those
big.
crits are
621 gold, 70 seconds in respawn,
And that was-
Nyx is going to get his Lagoon.
and that was a really big hex from the Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman up, and he's going to go down.
That is very unfortunate for the Shadow Shaman.
And I see some smack talk coming out here with Lifestealer. Game is hard. True life.
Game is indeed very hard. Take some tower damage. This Storm Spirit.
Storm Spirit comes in, takes down Chaos like nothing.
I like this build from the Ancient Apparition. Yule's Scepter is one of my favorite items as well. And the Medallion of Courage, something you usually see on the Dazzle, but it's a different build for him than the normal Aghanim Scepter. And it's a very utility-heavy build, but it also is very good.
And also, what's really impressive is he's just going for pure speed, and that is deadly on him.
Up, and there's the tap out. So congratulations to R3K. They will take first two games in the best of 3, and they will win the Dota Finals of Steel City LAN.
Radiant victory.
Well played to all, and that will be us signing off.